going to get this reading done. I have been meaning to do it, and I'm not going to fail to do it tonight. We are going to do a reading on why the baby boomers are so toxic towards all of the generations underneath them. Okay. Now, the baby boomers are not the oldest generation. There's the quiet generation, and then there's the best generation. I think they call it the best generation. And then there is the baby boomers. And then, because I wrote it all down, there's the baby boomers. So if you were born anywhere between 1946 and 1964, you are considered to be a baby boomer. Okay. Hey, Jen. Hello. Welcome. If you are Generation X, you were born somewhere between 1965 and 1980. If you are a millennial or Generation Y, you were born between 1981 and 1996. If you were born, if you're Generation Z, then you were born anywhere between 1997 and 2013. And then there is a Generation Alpha, which Generation Alpha is considered 2013 through 2025. Okay. So I'm going to throw the cards and I'm going to see what's up. I got to grab my dragon's blood incense stick and get that lit up because I didn't want to drink any coffee because once I get done with this reading, I'm going to go straight to sleep. I am, because normally I'll be asleep during this time. So it was very interesting doing a little bit of research. The reason why the baby boomers are even called baby boomers is because there was an increase in the birth rate after World War II. So World War II might be some kind of clue as to why baby boomers are toxic. I just thought about that. And I'm sorry, guys. I've been doing work and stuff. I'm just going to clear my cards a little bit. And we're going to call the spirit guides. And I'm going to call to all of my spirit guides and Lilith so that we can address why the baby boomers are so toxic, even sometimes towards their own children. Okay? And I'm just going to throw some cards out there and we're going to see what they say. Yeah, Jen, specifically, we're looking at why the baby boomers are so toxic. Okay? All right. So I'm just going to ask spirit guides. Spirit guides. Baby boomers. What's wrong with them? Why are they so toxic? Some of them, not all of them, some of them are toxic. But a vast majority of them are toxic. Like a lot of them, a lot of them are toxic. Okay? Why are they so toxic? Towards specifically the other generations up underneath them. And that might be why the baby boomers, as well as their agents, are so this may be why, guys, why they're so funny acting when it comes to when I start talking about removing generational curses. My week was good, actually. Thank you. We're going to see what's up with this because I want to know. I need to know, okay? Give us some clarity on this. Why are they so toxic? Why do they literally wish death upon us? What's going on with them? Let's see what we get. Oh, we got the Hermit in the inverted position. Interesting. This card is giving me not enough shadow work, not enough self exploration. But then the Hermit is also giving me that there's a sickness, and it does have something to do with World War II. And we got the Ace of Pentacles in the inverted position. I know that the generation before theirs, I believe, experienced the Great Depression. So Spirit Guides is saying that for some reason, they are carrying a lot of the wounds from the generation before them that experienced the Great Depression. Okay, which is why they're so funny about money. They're very funny about money. You notice how, like, as a spiritualist, and see, I try not to be influenced by these people, and I try not to allow them to influence my company. And the reason why is because you hear them saying a lot of things. You hear them saying, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, things of that nature, waste not, want not, and which that one kind of makes sense. But I mean, obviously, you're not just gonna eat up everything in the fridge. But I remember my mother had a food museum. Like, she saved every single leftover, and she was serious about it. Thank you, Unique J. She was serious about saving them leftovers. I mean, and you know what? It's nothing wrong with that within itself. But, it's kind of like you can get foodborne illnesses from eating old food, even if it's frozen. So you can't just, like, just think that you can just eat every drop. Some of the things that they say go totally against um, Gen X and the millennials, because especially when it comes to generational X, I do know that with generational X, and they have a serious problem with us, but that was when the phenomenon of the crystal children came in and the indigo children came in. And the crystal children and indigo children, of which that is who I am, they believe in magic. We're like the magic generation. We're the ones that's supposed to hand down the energies of magic. But a lot of us, we have the knowledge of the abundant earth, and we see the abundance and the opportunity. So I think that that's why they are really, really very hard on Generation X. Okay, let's throw the next card. Okay, so the Page of Swords comes up. Let's see what the next card is. I feel like it's all about communication. What are they communicating to us? Oh, wow. King of Wands inverted. They are communicating with us, the ones that are negative, the negativity of their fathers, the negativity of the generation before that, which, if I'm not mistaken, if somebody can look that up for me, I only wrote down the baby boomer years, but I do know that there was the generation right before them is the ones that went through the Great Depression. So this is the spirit of what? Okay, so yeah, they do need healing. The Star card comes up. It's a lot in this card. It's a lot in this King of Wands. They are literally communicating everything, and then even emulating everything, that if they had toxic parents, they're communicating everything that comes from their elders. And this Star card definitely does indicate the need for some kind of individuality. Baby boomers are having a hard time finding their own identities from their parents. And I've said that I knew we were going to see that. They are identifying with their parents, whatever they did. Now, I'm going to see what else we get. Yeah, they need to get past that. They're holding the wounds of their parents and they hold on to it and they can't let it go. Now, keep in mind that we got the Hermit card as well as the Star card. I'm just going to ask Spirit straight up and down if it was the trauma or maybe even the energy, because again, baby boomers were born post World War II era. Does it have something to do with that? Is what I want to know. Another thing, just with looking at the cards, I feel like, again, like what I was saying, is that, the guy in this card, he looks scared. He looks upset. He looks like he's he just kind of looks like he's just generally not happy. And I think that it has something to do with their age. I think that they're not dealing with aging very well. But this star card represents Uranus. This is the star. This is the card of the Aquarius. And Spirit kind of went right into what needs to be done about it. And Uranus is all about individuality. They can't step out of the mindsets of their, and I'm talking about the toxic ones. And there are some toxic ones. It is. I found that. Spirit, Lilith, do you feel that it has something to do with them coming, something to do with World War II? Maybe some kind of chemical agent? Yes or no? Could it have been some chemicals or either the trauma from World War II that maybe affected the pregnancies of some of the people in the baby boomer generation? Yes or no? Let's see if she says yes. Okay, we got Judgment inverted. We got the Justice card inverted. The Three of Swords inverted. Yeah, she's saying that it's directly related to World War II. And then Ten of Cups. So that's definitely a yes answer. I'm going to move some of these other cards so that it doesn't get too crowded. Yeah, it has something to do with World War II. We're going to find out specifically what that is. But we definitely got a yes answer. It's definitely the trauma. This is definitely pointing directly to me having to do with pregnancy. Something about the water, maybe. Something about the emotion of it, just it being in the air. Because if you were born between 1946 and 1964, you were born right after World War II. Yeah, you were born after the war. So this is post-war trauma that the previous generation was carrying with them, and whatever World War II was about. Now, I'm sorry, I didn't do very good in history class. I'm sorry. I didn't, to me, I was never interested in it. It was never interesting to me. I don't like war. I tend to stay away from that subject, and it has a lot to do with me being a Generation Xer as well as being born during the crystal and indigo revolution, that during that time. Um, but what I can already see just by this yes answer, and I'm going to ask Spirit to be more specific about what it is that they're actually saying as to what it was about the war. What was it specifically about World War II that is directly relating it to why they are the way that they are? I already can see that it was the mothers that were carrying them. I also feel is that it's got something to do with water. And I don't know much about World War II, but it's strictly spiritual. What's wrong with them? It's strictly spiritual, y'all. And it was something that came out of the water, out of the ocean. I guess I need to do more research and find out exactly what happened during World War II. But it was something that they're saying that either came across the water. Give me more specifics on this. It makes sense to me. Seven of Pentacles. Nine of Cups inverted. This is another water card. This is earth, water. This is spirit. These are bad spirits. Hold on, y'all, because something's coming out here. First of all, I can already see that it's got something to do with the dead. And it's got something to do with all those people dying during the war. Whether or not it was people that died during the war, or either parents and grandparents dying, but also people that died during the war. It's like they, oh, here's another night. Something about the water. Something about the water. Something about something traveled over water. Oh, wow. Nine of Swords. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to tell y'all exactly what Spirit is saying. There's a repeating number 9. These are bad spirits post-war. Bad spirits post-war. You can tell right here where their parents and grandparents was trying to get past the war. But then this is negative energy. These are negative spirits that came out of the war. And so I'm going to ask Lilith straight up, or are you saying that these people are just straight up possessed? Let's see what the next card is, though. Now the Ace of Pentacles is in the upright position. I feel that what I'm seeing is that Spirit is basically saying that they, like during the pregnancy and then even after the pregnancy. And see, there was a whole lot of stuff going on during that time. It does have something to do with healthcare. During that time, I know for a fact that during those times, healthcare was not as good. So they're talking about healthcare too. But I believe that during, and sis, I wish that you could research this for me real quick. But somewhere between 1946 and 1964, and I believe that I'm spot on with this. If you can confirm this for me, sis. They used to do what was called twilight births. So I feel like I'm seeing pregnancy and birth here. I'm seeing a lot of water. I feel like we're looking at gestation right here. Okay. And I feel like this is birth. The first thing that this said to me was birth. You know, somebody coming into this world. They were doing all kinds of stuff. They were giving pregnant women morphine. They were giving pregnant women these powerful painkillers, and then they started doing what's called twilight births during that time. So it was a lot of crazy stuff going on. And do y'all know what a twilight birth is? A twilight birth is where they used to give pregnant women that were in labor, they used to give them this drug that would literally take them out of their mind, like an LSD trip. So basically, it was like almost like a birth date rape drug that they were given to these pregnant women during labor. And basically what would happen is that these people, these women, the pain was still there, but they would be so out of their minds that they would forget about it. So spirit is saying and showing me a couple of different things. Bad spirits, negative spirits coming out of post-war. But then also what I can see is birth drugs that were not existing during our time. So can you imagine what that might do to a child, to the unborn child? Because everything that is given to the mother passes through to the baby. So if your mother is given a powerful drug that literally takes her out of her mind to the point where she doesn't even know where she's at or what she's doing, and from what I can see, they would have to strap these women down to the bed, and then she would somehow still push the baby out, or they would yank the baby out. This was actually happening somewhere between that time. And we can look this up to confirm it. So that's an issue as well. And then also we can see the depression when it comes to money. And this is their birth that we're looking at. This is everything that was happening when they came into this world between that time. And I see this as birth. This is the day that they were born. Anybody born between that time. But I feel like there was negative spirits that were roaming that had something to do with that war. But then also I feel as though they were giving women way too many powerful drugs while they were pregnant. And then also back then during pregnancy, people didn't really know that you were not supposed to take drugs. Yeah, Jen, this is my Ocean Wings tarot. Thank you, sweetie. They look even better when you don't have the flash on. So I can actually, these are kind of like glow in the dark. I'm going to find out more. I'm going to push these cards up and throw the rest of my cards, because my cards literally will tell a story. They will. They'll tell the whole story. Let's throw the cards after that. So this is their coming into this world between that time. Now, we got the Page of Swords in the inverted position. There was a lot of them born with they had very bad communication problems. After they were given those drugs, or when it was like, it's got something to do specifically with what was happening with hospital births. I can tell you that right now. And most of our parents were born in a hospital. Home births were literally unheard of. Even though they happened, most of the population, it's rare. I mean, even though more women are doing it, it's kind of, it kind of was rare, more rare back then. And so what these hospitals was doing was, that's why that hermit came up inverted. That's doctor. He comes up again. This is all about related to healthcare. He came up next. He's examining these children were born with problems. They were it was almost like if you were a baby boomer born during that time, you probably, like, especially if you were, if your mother didn't go to the hospital and give birth to you naturally, it was almost like communication was cut off. And what spirit is telling me is that autism first came up back then. Some of the first cases of autism, which is a symptom, okay, it's just a symptom. It's not a stigma, it's a symptom. That they were non-communicative and almost to where they were disconnected. And so this is a doctor to me looking at these children and saying, what's wrong with them? Oh, wow. The star comes back up inverted. So a lot of the children that were born during the baby boomer era, they were sickly. They were considered to be sickly during that time. No wonder they seem to have like a sort of like a, I don't want to say obsession, but they like a lot of the baby boomers, they seem to have this thing where they're always trying to find something wrong with a child. Okay. It's almost like they I don't know, like it's weird. It's weird. Hold on, guys. Let me, cause a troll just came in here. Let cruelty, pain, and evil ways follow this villain throughout their days. Reverse the torment they create to turn on them a crueler fate. Okay? Now you're going to have bad luck for coming in here for messing with me during my reading. Enjoy that. Okay? Enjoy that. These children, a lot of the baby boomers were sickly. And they were sickly not just because of drugs that they were given during birth, but it made it worse because there was a lot of spirits. And that's really what I want to look at. Let's look at the next card. They were failing to thrive. A lot of the baby boomers, when they were babies, they were failing to thrive. So there was almost like, what I can see is like a like it was like a whole medical thing back then. I'm gonna search in the records to see if we can find that. But the very early on in their early years after they were born, even if it seemed like it was more so to me very spiritual, but then also, you know how they say, and I truly believe this, if you are going through like let's say that you're an empath, right? Like you're an empath and you decide to take certain medications, it can make it worse. Oh, it's a girl, go to sleep. You can watch this in the morning, girl. You got to get your butt to work. Yeah. There was problems that they had very early on. And I believe it. I believe exactly what my spirits are saying. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I ran into a lady in social media. I was just giving birth to my child. I had given birth to 3 healthy children. All my children were born healthy. And this lady chased me around for years. This lady chased me around for years telling me it was something wrong with my son. And my son is nothing wrong with him. She's sick. She's still sick. Yeah, a lady in social media. She just obsessed, just absolutely obsessed with my child. Yeah, it's probably not, it's probably something that they probably covered up. or either they just didn't talk about it, or maybe it's just not in the records. But I'm going to check and see, because I believe exactly what my spirits are saying. Now, if you look up the Twilight Birds, but as far as like post war, as far as like what we're talking about when it comes to spirit, what was happening to these people in spirit, because I'm gonna tell you something. What I've noticed about baby boomers, and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, they seem to possess many spirits inside of them that they need to exorcise from. They're possessed. A lot of baby boomers are possessed. They are still carrying spirits within them. So we're gonna ask about the possession, because I was like, what is wrong with this? What and then it was just really weird, because I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Throughout the years, and my mother, she's gone, she's passed on. But I would even notice that my mother, because my mother is a baby boomer, obviously, she would go into possession sometimes. I'm like, what's wrong with my mama? Like it was so, I'm losing, because I just my candle flame just went out, so we're gonna turn the flash back on. I would always wonder what's wrong with my mama. Like, why does it seem like she has about 12 different personalities? You know what I'm saying? And it was so weird. Like, and my mother is a baby boomer, okay? And she didn't ever do what that lady was doing, because this lady was just obsessed. And I believe that it was because something was wrong with her when she was born. I believe it's been something wrong with this lady since she was born. Okay. And she didn't have a very good mother, so her mother probably reminded her that, all the time, that something was wrong with her when she was born. I'm gonna ask Spirit, what about the spiritual aspect of it, Lilith? What's wrong with them spiritually? What's the spiritual reason for what's wrong with them now? Yeah, that's why you got a lot of people my age, or like, because I was born in 77, but you got a lot of people my age. And then there's some people, the millennials, have parents that were baby boomers too. Yeah, it's like they're possessed or something. Lilith, what messages do you have about that, as far as like the baby boomers being possessed by spirits? Okay, a couple of cards fell out. Yeah, very bad spirits. Very low vibrational spirits. The ones that haven't gotten it together. And yeah. And see, this is the narcissist card. This is the card that comes up when you're dealing with narcissism, especially in the inverted position. That's why there is literally an epidemic of millennials as well as Gen Xers that there's like tons and tons of videos out where they're complaining about their parents being narcissistic. Okay, let's see what the next card is. Okay, so the Sun card comes up in the upright position. The Wheel of Fortune in the upright position. And then the King of Pentacles in the inverted position. So here's what I want to tell y'all about this. Depending on your racial background, if you have a toxic baby boomer parent or somebody in your family, they were limited. If you're black, the black baby boomers were born during a time of racism. They were. And so this goes all across the board to each race, because that was a really, really sick time. Very, very sick, very low vibrational, very, very embarrassing. That's it. Here's my opinion about racism. I feel that racism is the most embarrassing time in history. I do. I'm not even going to lie to you. And Spirit is confirming that with this Six of Wands. Six of Wands in the upright position means honor. It means dignity. It means doing the right thing. That's not what was going on. It was very, very repulsive what was happening during that time. So depending on what side of the coin you were on, it was still a lot of trauma. It was. But especially if you have a black baby boomer parent and they gave birth to you, you were born and raised during a time where during the 70s and the 80s specifically, because keep in mind Gen X is 65, right? 1965. Somewhere around the 70s was when things were starting to change for the better in our society, especially in this country. And so this right here is the Gen Xers. Right here, the Sun upright and the Wheel of Fortune upright. So if you were born during that time frame, you were very fortunate. The time frame that they were born in, especially our black parents, they were born during a time of great evil. They were born during a time of struggle for black people. And you know what? I'm going to throw the next card after this King of Pentacles in the inverted position. King of Pentacles inverted. Let me talk to you guys about King of Pentacles inverted. This is a father card, just like the King of just like the King of Wands. However, why did the King of Pentacles come up? Why is it directly up underneath the Four of Pentacles inverted? This is a father that is narcissistic. This is a father that wants to see his children go through the same struggles that he went through. This is a father that's going to hate on you because they've got all this trauma and the opportunities that a lot of the Gen Xers was born, through in. Our fathers didn't have that, especially our black fathers. They were not born with those rights. They were born during a very racist time, especially if you black. But I think it can affect any. It is definitely, it affects every race. It does. It affects every single race. Okay. And so this is a father that looks at you being born during a very fortunate time. And because the father felt held back, the father felt, I wasn't given that opportunity, so many opportunities that you're given, and I didn't have that. So I don't like you, even though you're my child. Now, I'm not saying that all baby boomers did that. And I think that was why during that time, I feel like the media was really trying to deviate away from that negativity. Just like when because they try to clean it up. They be trying to clean it up, I'm telling you. And it's a lot of different things that they trying to clean up because they know that it brings them negative karma. But y'all know how, like, when we think about basketball players and, like for example, who's one of those basketball players? Good Lord, I don't know my sports, but you know how, like, they make a lot of money and then they take care of the parents and things of that nature. Okay. So that was pushed heavily because, and not just for black people, for whites too, because there were poor white people. There's poor white baby boomers too. Right? So this right here is you coming into the world post-war, post-trauma, and The wheel of fortune shows that the world, a lot of us born during Generation X, we are the people that were ushering in this new era. And the toxic baby boomer parent said, no, you need to go through racism. You need to go through all of the trauma that I went through because it's character building. And that's exactly why that's there. Let's look at the next card. I can promise you that that's why it's there. And you know what? It's something that a lot of y'all probably have thought about, but seeing it right here, Six of Pentacles came up next in the upright position. They want control over your energy. The toxic ones want control over your energy. They don't want to let it all flow to you. They want control over it. And I can tell you that, listen, I'm not just getting on the baby boomers, but we're going to look at some of the toxic Gen Xers too. Because there are people that I have ran into, and y'all will all run into them. They are out there. They are the same age as you, but they're doing the bidding of the baby boomers. It's just like seeing a carbon copy of them. They're emulating them. And they're not actually where the Gen X's are in any way. They are emulating the toxic generation. And we're talking about the toxic ones. See? Four of Cups. A lot of the toxic Gen X, they don't want to see you do good. They don't appreciate that. They don't appreciate that. They're not proud of you. They're not proud of what you're doing. They're not. Even if you would have did everything like they wanted you to do, go to college and all that stuff, they still wouldn't have been proud of you. These people are toxic. Yeah. These people are toxic. It wouldn't have mattered what you did. Okay, they don't care about that. Okay. The Empress inverted. You're talking about the toxic mother. That's why that Empress is inverted. The toxic mother from the baby boomer era. She wanted independence and freedom. A lot of our toxic mothers secretly resented us. The High Priestess is all about falseness. That's why a lot of y'all were raised with a lot of people were raised with parents that you could see certain signs that was off-putting. And you had like this whole childhood where they were not behaving that way. But then when you became an adult, that's when they switched up on you. Or if you sought any kind of independence and freedom. So this is where it says something about things being hidden agendas. Let me move these cards out of the way because I'm done reading these. And I'm just going to keep drawing the cards as they come out. Because I basically got the whole deck just sitting right here. Okay, we're just going to draw them. See what comes up next. See, the Moon inverted. This is another card that represents the mother. But it's inverted just like the Empress. False love, hiding something, hidden agendas. Hidden agendas against you. Why? Ooh. Ten of Swords was next. This is all about the memories of their childhood, the things that they saw, and then also it's indicative of mental illness. But I can also tell you that again, I believe that what the High Priestess is saying is that it's all about possession, but then again, it's all about some kind of mind control. Some kind of mind control that they're under. Toxic families, showing a different face publicly, but then things going on totally different behind the scenes. This right here is mental illness, but then also spiritual illness, and then unawareness. Let's see what's next. This is possession, y'all. This is possession. A lot of the baby boomers in this country are possessed, and not by good spirits. This is all about their betrayal. And then hidden agendas against people. Denying you your natural born right. Denying you of your rights. And it doesn't matter what race you are. This is all about being subservient and being their prisoner almost. This is bad right here. Wow. Not wanting you to, oh God. Yeah, denying you your birthright. A lot of y'all that were born, either the millennials or Gen X, you were born with more freedoms than them. But some of the toxic baby boomers try to deny you those freedoms. And by the way, the High Priestess is talking about how, the spiritual work that they've done on you to hold you back purposely in life. Every time you try to do anything to better yourself, and you had every opportunity, and they kept just knocking you down at every turn because they didn't want you to surpass them. Yep, blocking you. See? They didn't want you to surpass them. Whereas if you were a healthy baby boomer, you would look at your children and you would be happy and proud that they have more opportunities, but a lot of the toxic ones didn't. This is all about parenting. And a lot of it is being facilitated not just by the mother, because the mother's being too complacent. The mother is going along with it, but that Ten of Swords also represents male energy. Because a lot of the male baby boomers, they real hurt. They real salty. They real salty. They wear plastic smiles on their face. They are literally brooding from years and years of their life, looking back, and they're saying, damn, I wish I had that opportunity. Damn, I wish I had that opportunity. And they're looking at their children that grew up during a time where they had more chances, and a lot of the toxic ones want to destroy that for you. Okay? That's why they take an express interest in your social media. They're trolling. They're showing direct hatred for all of the youth below them, specifically for the baby boomers because they were born post-war era. And then also they experienced either racism or either poverty. Let's draw the next card. Three of Wands. So this is them getting older. Let me move these cards up a little bit. I'm not going to get rid of that High Priestess because she's giving me a lot of info. And you can see the cards. I didn't, this is Three of Wands. So this is all about, I feel like this is all about growth. And then the Ace of Wands comes up in the upright position. I feel like this is advice. They need to grow up and move forward and stop the bull crap. Anonymous girl says, so true. Everything I got in life was through my own efforts. Parents just kept tabs on me, but didn't really want me to make it. Father died last year. I didn't shed one tear. Yeah. They really need to free themselves from that bondage, and they're keeping their kids in bondage too. I feel like these are advice cards. This reading really says it all. And you know what's crazy is that during that time, like, the baby boomers were doing the most, you guys. Like, they were. And, I think that their parents did certain things too. Like, for example, when you think about it, back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, women within themselves couldn't do much. For some reason during that time, it was very sexist. We was looking at a very sexist era. A lot of those wounds and that trauma, they were not able to break the cycle. They were upset about it. They were regretful. They were resentful. Their kids were born during a time where they had great opportunity, and they were jealous of their children. Not all of them, but some of them. And during that time, it was a lot of wicked stuff going on, especially in the medical industry, in the mental health industry, because basically what they would do is if you were different or deviated anywhere outside of what was the norm in society, you could end up getting locked up in a mental institution for nothing. You could be a perfectly normal person, and they would throw you in a hospital and give you electric shock treatment and mess you up. Parents divorced. Father didn't raise me, yet mom still fed him info on me and kissed his ass. Didn't make sense to me. Yeah, that would make sense, because to a lot of people, and for a lot of people, because a lot of the single mothers of that era, which there were single mothers back during that era. There were single mothers that did leave bad, toxic men in relationships, and they either had a lot of support from their family during that time, or they were able to support themselves, but that was like few and far between. This is between this was 1965 to 1980. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at Gen X real quick, because I want to see what messages Spirit has for Gen X. Because I've ran into a lot of very toxic generational Xers, and I believe that somehow whatever this sickness was passed to them, and they were not, because I've had people my age literally be like agents. That it was almost like I was a prisoner or something. It was really weird. Like, oh, you've done something wrong so we're going to punish you. But let's see what messages Spirit got for the Generation Xers. So, feel like we're split. Generation X is split and divided really bad. Obviously, all of us are not on the same page. Okay, so Queen of Cups comes up first. So, to me, this woman that's sitting here and she's in the upright position and she's staring at almost like, I feel like this has something to do with the Crystal Revolution. And to where, because I feel that what God did, I feel like God sent a lot of us, which is why a lot of us are very spiritually advanced and even had spiritual gifts when we were born. I feel like we came into the world to heal them. We came here to heal the situation, okay? The Strength card inverted. They were really trying to heavily indoctrinate us, and they succeeded on some people. Four of Pentacles. This is where some of the generational Xers are holding on to, you know, the bad values of the baby boomers. A lot of Gen Xers are revolutionaries, to where, because when I was reading about Gen X, Generation X was all about prosperity. They were all about growth. So there's some positive and there's some good, because that's why some of us, yeah, in the Six of Wands, we came here to heal the situation, to make it better. Not all of us, though, because I've seen some people my age and I'll just be like, wow, like, you should understand me, but you don't. Yeah. You should understand me, but you don't. But I feel like I feel like our generation is gonna have to be the leaders to check a lot. I was saying it earlier. We got to check them. We got to check these toxic baby boomers. We got to put them in, because what they're doing is they're spreading their toxicity. And you can also see where a lot of us came into this world with a lot of hope, with a lot of gifts of empathism, and you can tell that they just really, really, really wanted to tear us down and defeat us. It was almost like, who do you think you are? You smart aleck. So if some of y'all, if you had anything intelligent to say and you were innocent, I mean, you were just innocently saying something intelligent, you get slapped. What are you trying to be smarter than me? Yeah, that's abuse right there. Some of us Generation Xers held on to that early onset abuse, but a lot of us didn't. And a lot of the baby boomers can't figure out why we were able to overcome it, and they can't stand us for it. Yeah, we're very outspoken. And they feel like, why are you talking to your elders like that? I'm older than you. You need to show me some respect. I'll show you some respect when you show me that you are worthy of my respect. I am very respectful to older people and to my elders. But when you are being disrespectful and treating me like I'm some bitch on the streets, we gonna have it out. We gonna have it out. By the way, the Queen of Cups does represent the Cancer or either the Pisces, mainly the Cancer, which is almost like the Moon card. You know, it's equivalent to the Moon card. Okay. Knight of Swords. Yeah, we're fighting. We're battling with these elders. We're battling with them. Why? Because they're toxic. That's why. They're toxic, they're overbearing, they're judgmental, they're very two-faced. They're not making any sense. Okay, that's what we're fighting. Two of Cups inverted. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you're dealing with a toxic baby boomer, they not gonna change. They're not gonna change. There's no love there. That there's no love there with them. Just to let you know, you might as well don't even waste your time. You know, you can tell that, you know, it's never gonna change. And then it's also divided. You know, you don't necessarily have to have the whole nation stand up and fight these people. You can fight it on your own. But you know that just to let y'all know that you know let's throw some more cards. I got a feeling I'm gonna see the Death card. It's a lot of depression. Hold on a minute. A lot of this is sad. The Fool card inverted. This just gets more and more sad. This has something to do with religion. And how they're using the religion to stop us from ushering in this revolution to fight them. Yep. Oh, God. The Hanged Man. All I can say is that they don't need to be having no control over no nuclear arms. That's all I got to say. Okay. Oh, wow. You know, the Hanged Man is the sacrifice. And remember, I told y'all that a lot of y'all parents and your elders, they done went and talked to these spirits, and they've talked to them about sacrificing you and taking you. They want to sacrifice you so they can take everything from you. And you can't trust them. And you can't really trust some of the Gen Xers either, because they're in on it with them, because they're weak. They're weak-minded. They think it's going to actually work. Your dad was Vietnam. Oh, wow. Wow. Let's see what message was held for review. Yeah, she is who she is. Can't stand my ass. She's envious and jealous and can't control my ass. Yeah, I don't blame you. She says she isn't an Eastern Star anymore. She still took that oath. I've never taken an oath to shit. Yeah, I feel like, well, first of all, any Generation Xer that's going along with their plans is not going to work. It isn't. They're not going to be in a good place. Because anytime somebody does that anyway, that's not good. But you can tell that, and see, this is that whole thing where nobody can trust anybody and everybody's distrustful, and they're trying to normalize this freaking, a lot of Generation Xers are trying to normalize bullshit, basically. They're trying to normalize all of the disgusting things that have happened: abuse, rape, all of it. They're trying to normalize it. When in reality, those things come out of a sickness that people need to heal from. I'm going to ask spirit guides what messages they have for the generational Xers about how to handle the baby boomers. And then I'm going to get out of here because I'm not sleepy anymore, but I'm relaxed enough to where I'm going to lay down and be asleep within minutes. Okay, Eight of Pentacles is in the inverted position. We got two eights. Got Eight of Pentacles, Eight of Cups flipped over, both inverted. What messages, Lilith and spirit guys, do you have for the other generations underneath the baby boomers? It's all false as set. Oh my God. The tower in the inverted position is all about deception. And so spirit guides is saying be careful for the deception. Be careful about what they're talking to you. Gain independence on what they're talking about financially. King of Pentacles is now in the upright position, but these two eights are inverted. And so this is all about financial freedom and emotional freedom and healing. But then again, it's also about new money. It's also about new money. It's all about, because some people will be subservient to it, and it's not good for you emotionally. I know that for me, I went out into the world finally after 40 years and said, I'm going to grab the bull by the horns and I'm going to go out here and get mine. And that's exactly what y'all need to do. The King of Pentacles is all about not just financial freedom, but just overall freedom from the setup and the get up that they've been doing. This definitely says that y'all need to watch out for false realities that's being created. False realities that are even being created out of dark magic, like baneful magic, like them creating these illusions for you and these very scary things for you, them creating it. And this is not going to be good. It's going to be a downward spiral. And some people don't care. Some people are so down and depressed over their baby booming mother and father that they don't even care. They don't take it seriously. They laugh and they joke. But in reality, for those of you that do care, y'all need to watch out for deception and false realities being created. deceptions and false realities, and believing in false things. And I think that this is talking about religion. You notice how a lot of them, and sometimes you'll see millennials doing it, you'll see different people doing it, and they'll be like, oh, the world is about to end. Oh, I predict that the world is about to end at this date or that date. And that's more things that they're saying and doing to keep you in fear of moving forward. They are actually creating false realities, because the tower, whenever I see the tower in the inverted position, especially being right next to the high priestess inverted, the tower represents changes and things being done to you, things being done almost like the freaking Truman Show, like setups, like they're setting you up and stuff. So the tower in the upright position represents change that you can't do anything about. It's almost like, no, this is fate. So is this card. Both of these three major well, not the two major arcanas came up that represent fate, but this is fate that you can change. And they're directly doing it. They're directly doing it. They're taking a lot of time doing it. And what I can hear Lilith saying is that you gonna have to undo it. That's why I feel like the prevalence, there has been an emergence of more witchcraft being used, which should always, not necessarily the dark stuff, but sometimes that's necessary. If you got somebody messing with you, you got every right to say, hey, I want no, I'm not gonna let your will be done against me. I'm not gonna let you do that. So if that's considered to be dark, whatever, okay? Yeah, the sun is inverted. They're not doing what's right by listen, it's almost like, for some reason, when it comes to Generation X specifically, it's almost like our parents are trying to, don't do it to your kids either. Break the cycle. Break the cycle is what they're saying. There's a cycle that's happening here. And then the Empress comes up in the upright position. So, this is more so like, they're almost like, a lot of y'all have been talking about almost like that Coraline thing with the other mother or something. And then also, oh, another thing the Empress is saying, that it's important to be able to mother yourself. It's important for you to mother yourself, because there is a mother deception that is happening a lot, and it's still happening. I know that a lot of our mothers, a lot of us that are 40 and 50, our mothers are still alive. They're in their 80s. And it's not to say, oh, we just want them to die, but it's literally like they're still up to it. They not gonna change either. It's not gonna change. Now Six of Pentacles comes up in the inverted position. All I can say about this card is protect your energy. I'm surprised that the Temperance card, which is the codependency card, didn't come up. And I'm also surprised that the Devil card didn't come up. But the Devil has nothing to do with this. Okay, this is, sorry, y'all. I'm smelling my salts because I use it to clear my head after readings. Ah, it smells so good. Yeah, be careful, guys. Be careful with the deception. And a lot of you guys really need to learn how to protect yourself. When things start going awry, you need to realize that they are using black magic on you. They are doing things to manipulate you. And they're using a lot of dark and toxic energy against you. Like I said, there's a movie called The Taking of Deborah Logan. You guys have to see that. If you haven't seen it, You have to see it. Now, in the movie, the lady is still she's a good daughter. We all have been good daughters. We all have been there. We all have done all that we can. But this lady, I think it was either after her husband had died, but she had started her own business as like she ran a switchboard business for rich people, right? And yeah, watch that. Yeah, watch that. But she ran a switchboard business for years. And so when this lady got older, she began to show and display signs of Alzheimer's. Come to find out, it was not Alzheimer's. This lady was possessed. And yeah, that does happen. You know, I feel that it has been harmful to our society for them to just say no witchcraft whatsoever. It's evil, it's horrible. That is another lie. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. When you practice the craft, what you learn very quickly is how to banish a bad spirit off of somebody. These people have bad spirits. It's almost like they constipated and they don't want to let it go. So witchcraft is not all bad. In fact, traditionally, witch was Latin for doctor or something. So the witches actually helped exorcise people of demons. And when you are, I think there was a reason why in that movie they made that lady that it was specifically she ran a switchboard service. So that meant that for years and years and years, this lady was getting these inbound calls from all of these different people, and there was demons coming through there. It was demons coming through there. And I think that it was one of those examples of what a phantasm is, because you know, demons and bad spirits, maybe not demons, but bad spirits was coming through there. And so I feel like a conglomerate of bad spirits will create a freaking phantasm or something, just like something big. And this lady, y'all got to see it. It's called The Taking of Deborah Logan. Yep. The Taking of Deborah Logan, Unique J. I'm sorry, I'm not always looking at the chat. I just looked at it. Yeah. Yeah, if you're using the craft to help your kids, to heal your kids, to open up opportunities for them, and to, you know, to protect them, yeah. But for people to use witchcraft that is binding them or trying to stop them because you feel as though, wait a minute, I haven't accomplished enough yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't done that yet. Now, and it's very interesting because even experiencing my own experience, I've looked at my oldest son and I felt like, because of the things that were happening to me, that I was not a strong enough foundation for them, or I was at some point, and you know, I'm building myself back up. But if my son was to get a good job and he was to get, you know, I would absolutely be supportive of him. Am I going to tell him to stay home and pay my bills? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You save your money. That's your money. So I'm not going to have none of my children pay my bills. That's just how I am. Some of y'all may not agree with me, right? But it was almost like they don't want us to do nothing. And then you got to look at the timing. Nobody has time for that. Who has time? Nobody. A lot of y'all are in y'all 30s and 40s and 50s, and y'all haven't gotten to do anything with your life yet. And you know what they'll do? They'll follow behind you. They'll try to destroy everything that you do, including but not limited to spreading smear campaigns about you, getting people to do black magic on you, and then looking at you and saying, well, why are you blaming me? Yeah. And we all know that magic exists. I mean, there was somebody that was saying, oh, that witchcraft doesn't work. Well, that's because it don't work for you. You don't know what you're doing. But we all know that witchcraft is a very, very, very real thing. Yeah. Anonymous girl said, yes, mom didn't want me to amount to shit. I stopped telling her anything when I called her on her bullshit. Yeah. And you know what? You have to have somewhere to go with people that you can trust, because people are predators. They will take advantage of your family problems if you have that issue. That's a very, very sensitive topic. It's very, very sensitive. I've seen people do it. They just kind of, either they're in support of this horrible parent, or they're just like a wolf in sheep's clothing, pretty much. And so you have to really, really find a place to go where you can trust somebody, where you can trust the person that's doing work for you. I was telling one of my new clients the other day, I said, you got to be careful going to these people, because, a scam artist don't always just not know what they're doing. A scam artist ain't always a fake witch or a fake warlock or a fake practitioner. A scam artist can be someone that has something planned and plotted for you. Somebody that's very unethical. Yeah. Well, you guys can trust me. I can tell you that. You can trust me. And, one of the reasons why you can trust me, I know that this sounds selfish, is that for me, I feel, well, first of all, I'm a good person. But then also, like I've been in business for almost 10 years. I'm of perfect and sound mind, body, and spirit. And I've had a lot of success as a witch, working with people and actually doing the right thing for them and not being a bullshitter, because I'm not a bullshitter, right? So I don't have, I do right by my clients, because what good would that do to my business? I mean, I'm going to retire doing what I'm doing. I'm going to retire from my own company that I started. So it makes no sense for me to be a trickster type of person, to where I'm just trying to slick somebody and be a can of oil. For what? For what? Would that do any good for my reputation? I do right by every single client. And they know it. And they know it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thank you, Unique J. I appreciate that. Okay, guys, that's it. It's like probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. I gotta go. I'm honestly, I've been going to bed. I've been getting to bed before 12, and let me get off of here. I hope that this helped some of you guys to better explain, what is going on with the baby boomers, and maybe we'll also look at the other generations, the millennials, Generation Z. Uh, because more than likely a lot of us are going to be here to see, yeah, we're going to be here to see Generation Alpha grow up. So, I'll do more readings on this, but I got to go. You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this, okay? Anonymous girl said baby boomers are whack. Well, the ones that are, we know why. We know why now. It made a lot of sense. And it started making sense to me when I read that they were born post World War II. And so with that said, I'm gonna do a little bit of research on that war, just to get a little bit more info before I go sleep. You're welcome, guys. Yeah, God is good. God is definitely good. Okay, guys, I'll see y'all later. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings. Bye-bye.